What's going on, guys? It's Hypnotic. Today, I want to look at Atlas Memories as a significant means of making currency, more specifically, Harbinger Memories. With the introduction of Fracturing Shards and Orbs, Harbingers are once again a tempting mechanic to farm after being near bottom tier since the Divine Exalt change. While other well-known Atlas Memories such as Rogue Exile Essences and Harvest Beasts are incredibly profitable, they do have a much higher initial investment than this strategy. As such, this is a great method if this is your first time experimenting with Atlas Memories. Let's take a closer look at this method in detail and what you can expect in terms of a return for your time investment. Now, Harbinger Memories at the time of me recording are fairly steady at between 15 and 25 chaos per memory, while the price of Fracturing Shards and Orbs are sitting at around 50 chaos and 5 divines respectively. This particular test took place about a week ago, when shards were 40 chaos roughly and orbs were around 4.2 divine. Due to the rise in price in fracturing orbs and minimal increase in the price of memories, at least from what I see, your potential results could be even more profitable than mine, assuming you don't get outrageously unlucky. I'll keep my fingers crossed for you. Now, in addition to fracturing shards, you'll also be getting a good amount of annulment, ancients, chaos, and exalt shards and orbs. For my test, I was running Never Sinks very strict and picking up anything that showed up. A fair amount of low-value shards are hidden, but if you wanted to further limit what you pick up to save on clicks, you could do so. Personal justification was because I'm only picking up 5 or 6 different forms of easily liquidated currency. I'm willing to click more. I also have clicks bound to scroll wheel via a macro, which I highly recommend in any sort of farming method with a lot of loot pickup. Alright, let's go over some quick pros and cons to help you determine if memory farming is for you. Nearly zero upkeep. You apply the memory to your atlas, talk to Kirak, roll the map, and run it. No scarabs, no sextants, no atlas necessary. You could technically run them white for zero upkeep, but I wouldn't recommend it. Low risk. Based on the results that I will go over later on in this video, you will cover the entire cost of investment in just ancient orbs alone, and it will not take your entire ancient orb income to do so either. This includes the cost of the memories as well as rolling them for increased returns. Easily liquidated. The entirety of loot is currency, and thus is very easy to sell with minimal price checking. The main loot you'll be looking to sell is fracturing shards and orbs, exalted orbs, ancient orbs, chaos orbs, and annulment orbs. You can expect a good amount of other orbs as well that have shards, but those will be your main profit. Now the cons are as follows. Buying them. Buying almost anything in this game is annoying, so this shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. The best advice I can give is to sort by time listed with a maximum price in mind, or set up a live search. With live searches, you'll often find them listed cheaper than market price, which will help bring down the cost of investment. Map mods. Map mods can be dangerous, and even more so with Harbinger Memories. These memories have increased explicit modifier magnitudes on each map. This starts at 15% and goes to 60% on the final memory. Mods such as reduced effect of non-curse auras can go up to as much as 90% and can have your character feel like they're playing ruthless. Keep an eye on these and be careful when voling your maps if there's a mod your build can't do. I can't do elemental reflect, but I still vol every map because I'm crazy. Proximity shields. Some of the mobs that spawn in these maps spawn with proximity shields, and they can and will overlap. This can be a bit annoying for some builds, however any damage over time build should have no trouble at all with this. I'm personally playing Tornado Shot. I basically just stick my bow in their nose and shove arrows into it. Again, annoying but manageable. As for where you should put your memories, this is entirely personal preference. Personally, I try to keep them in an area with a good layout and density, such as underground sea, channel, strand, etc. The route the memory takes is random, so your best bet is to avoid any areas with maps you don't like running. Annoying bosses or bosses in general can be skipped as well, but they do drop invitations if that's something you're interested in. As mentioned, Harbinger memories on average are about 20C each. Each memory consists of 4 maps equating to around 5C per map, not including what you decide to invest into them for more risk and more reward. Memory maps, like any other map, can be chiseled, alked, volled, and optionally deli-orbed if you're able to handle the difficulty. Generally, I invest heavily into the first 1 or 2 memories, and then scale back my investment to keep the difficulty and proximity shield spam from getting too out of control. Before I get into the results, I want to give a quick rundown on some of the league mechanics and how well they interact with memories, as they can have some pretty interesting effects. Heist is a gold mine. The smuggler's caches end up rolling into a generous amount of shards, full orbs, etc. I'm not quite sure on how it converts exactly, but you get a truckload of different currencies with zero effort. With Beyond, you can easily get into a loop where slaying monsters from Beyond spawn Harbinger mods, which spawn Beyond monsters, and so on. This is a great bonus if you can roll it on your maps. Ritual is good because you can continuously slay packs to spawn more Harbinger mobs. This can get pretty ridiculous on your last memory map, which is a 7% chance to spawn Harbinger mobs per monster killed. Harvest, Daily Mirrors, Legion, Breach, Abyss, and Expedition are all good as well. Metamorphs are fairly unrewarding, so feel free to skip those. Blight is very hard. Like, unbelievably hard. At least if you have issues with Proximity Shield. You can do it if you wish, but the return is nowhere near where it should be for the difficulty. I'm still having nightmares from Proximity Shield guarded Blight mobs ruining my life. And finally, here are the results. I managed to farm an entire Fracturing Orb through Shards, which at the time went for about 4.2 divines, as mentioned. Along with it, lots of ancient orbs, chaos, exalts, etc. A lot of currency easily kept or sold in bulk. Originally, I'd planned to run all 25 memories, but with the holidays and such, I was a bit short on time. I figured farming until I completed a fracturing orb was a good middle ground goal. Here's the excellence breakdown of the loot, which at the time totaled 7.75 divine. Keep in mind this was recorded a week ago, and I'm just now being a responsible adult and finishing this video, so the prices you see may be different than what they are today. On average, it wouldn't be unreasonable to expect between 50 and 75 chaos in return per memory, dependent on your luck with fracturing shards and ancient orbs. There were memories where no shards drop, and I believe the most I got in one memory was 5, so your mileage may vary. Of course, if you were lucky enough to get a mirror shard, and you could, this would heavily skew your results. Now, I did try using a deli orb on a map, but decided against continuing and just went with the usual all Kval as baseline. If you choose to use a deli orb, you will get the rewards corresponding to the deli orb, and they will not be converted into shards. Overall, I believe this is a perfectly fine method for making currency, and depending on your luck, can be quite lucrative. As long as memories stay below the price of roughly 1 fracturing shard, you should at no point find yourself losing money on these. Give them a try if you're interested. I hope this video entertained and informed you, and I'll see you on the next one.